Thank you, Madam Speaker. In South Africa, huge efforts are made and initiatives undertaken both by government and civil society to empower women, to put a stop to violence against women, and co-opt men as allies in achieving these social imperatives. Unless, however, these efforts are coordinated and integrated, we will continue taking one step forward and two steps back. The greatest social interventions in the world to educate and empower women, men, and children amount to very little while we fail to remove the sexually exploitative messages of pornography from our media platforms. Government policy on the distribution of pornography is found in the Films and Publications Amendment Bill, which is now before the Portfolio Committee on Communications. Now, the policy position that children must be protected from exposure to pornography is strongly supported by the ACDP. However, we cannot support the notion that adults should view what they want when society continues to suffer the consequences of pornography's exploitative message. Most recently, the sexual assault and rape of pupils by staff and other adults in our schools. Now, research makes it clear that sexually exploitative and devaluing messages result in sexual exploitation, irrespective of the age of the viewer. Sexual crime is also as much about a need to sexually humiliate and degrade the victim as it is about control and sexual gratification, and so too is pornography. Now, the ACDP rejects the policy proposal to only disallow the distribution of violent pornography, which would result in the mainstreaming of non-violent, sexually explicit material that is degrading of human beings and disrespecting of human dignity, neither being in the interest of justice nor in the public interest, and the protection of human dignity being the cornerstone of our democracy. With an unlimited supply of pornography on the internet, harms have taken the world by storm. Sexual addictions and disorders, damaged and broken relationships, sexting, child-on-child sexual abuse, revenge porn, increased rape on college campuses, and in military, rampant sexual objectification of women, in popular culture, anxiety and depression, and the list goes on. Now, in the USA, the land of Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy magazine, who died last month, the reality of the harms of pornography is causing an ever-growing number of state legislatures to declare pornography to be a public health crisis. In a recent article in the Washington Examiner, the American author asked, how can our society accept, let alone applaud Hefner and the messages about the value of women he unleashed, when we are simultaneously struggling with campus sexual assault, military sexual assault, and the culture of sexual harassment in Silicon Valley, not to mention our schools. What Hefner tried to sell as emancipating, empowering history and research has shown to be utterly enslaving and profoundly disempowering. Now, like the American author, we, and I especially include the Communications Portfolio Committee members here, have to ask, why would we support the production and distribution of material that exploits women through its message and promotes the sexual exploitation of women? How can we, knowing the exposure to material that promotes sexual exploitation, facilitates sexual violence on women and girls, support the distribution of such material in our society without conducting a credible and thorough investigation into the effects of pornography in South Africa? And I thank you for listening.